Okay, next video, quick recap on solving for unknown variables. Okay, so with an equation, we usually have an equal to sign in between, right? With equations, we're doing the opposite of BODMAS. Please remember it, okay? Opposite of BODMAS. So if you see addition and subtraction, you're doing that first, okay? And you're going to do brackets last. What generally helps with this is if you just highlight your unknown. It makes it easier so that you know exactly what you're solving for. If you don't want to, you don't have to, okay? I'm just giving you tips on something that might make it easier for you. So that's our unknown. What's blocking us? It's this minus 20. So we're going to say P equals, and then when you're taking this over, now when I say take over, it's just again same like how I said take out, okay, when we were doing HCF. It isn't actually mathematical terms. The actual word is saying adding or subtracting the inverse, right? But we say take over just to make it easier for you guys to understand. So we're taking this number over, giving me 68 plus, because it was a minus, plus, and so P is equal to 88. Done. Okay, this one over here, R is what I'm looking for. Can you see the thing that's blocking me is divide by 7? What's the opposite or the inverse of divide by 7? It's multiply by 7. So R equals, I'm going to multiply here by 7, so that's why the denominator is gone. What you do on one side, do on the other side. So we got negative 5 multiplied by 7, which is negative 35. Okay, continue. This one over here, what's blocking me or what's in front of it is the divide by 3. Okay, let me just do this in a different color. So what's the opposite? This means 3 multiplied by B. What's the opposite of multiply? Divide by 3. What you do on one side, you do on the other side. So B equals, okay, let's continue. This one over here, I have something to the power of 2. So what's the inverse of it, or the opposite of it? It's the square root. Okay, so I square root on both sides. A equals, what's the square root of 36? It's 6. I want you guys to always remember, and I mentioned this in class, when we square root in something, please don't forget there's a positive solution and a negative. I want you to write that, okay? Very important. All right, let's continue. What do I have over here? Okay, so I'm going to take this 5. Can you see the 5 is positive, the K is negative. So I'm taking this over, so the K is still negative. This was positive, going over it becomes negative. Right, again when I'm saying going over, I mean the inverse, right? So negative 7 minus 5, negative 12. But I did not want a negative K. I wanted K on its own. So I'm going to divide. This is basically a negative 1 in front of it. So I'm going to divide like this. Negative, divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1. Okay, you don't have to show the step. You can just do it, okay? K is now positive, equals, and then whatever the sign is on the side here, it was negative. So now we just change it to positive. Why am I doing that? Because negative divided by negative gives me a positive 12. And that's my answer. Okay, let's continue. I have quite a few questions for you guys, okay? And this is revision again. Just take your pen and paper and work with me through every single one of them, and this is going to help you so much. All right, and then please, what you can do also is see this question, pause the video, try it on your own, and see if my answer matches up with your answer, okay? All right, this one over here, what we need to do is we're going to be, okay, you have 2 options, all right? Option 1, multiply into the bracket and then work it out. Option 2, because there's just a number in front of it, you can divide both sides by the number. I'm going to do the one where we multiply into the bracket, okay? So, multiply into the bracket, multiply this into the bracket. So this gives me 2x, and 2 times 1 gives me 2. Now, we want to keep all the things that have variables on one side, all the things that are numbers basically on the other side. Okay, because I'm taking this positive 2 to the other side, so it becomes negative 2. 10 minus 2, 8. Now, I want x on its own, isn't it? So how do I get rid of the 2 in front of it? By dividing by 2. What I do on one side, do on the other side as well. So on this side, I'm left with x. 8 divided by 2, 4. Done. Okay, let's continue. Easy one. Let's continue. Right. I'm going to get rid, I need t on its own, isn't it? What's blocking me? This divide by negative 2. What's the opposite of divide by negative 2? Multiply by negative 2. Okay. Negative and negative gives me positive. 3 times 2 is 6. Okay. Alright. Pause the video, try it on your own, and let's see what you get. This one over here, what's blocking me is the divide by 7. Opposite of divide is multiply by the 7. 1 times 7. There we go. Okay, pause. Alright, let's resume. Can you see over here, I want x on its own. This side here, I got a 2 over 5. So that means I'm going to be dividing by 2 over 5, isn't it? So divide here by 2 over 5 to get rid of that 2 over 5 because it's multiply over there. So this side I got x. We know that if you have something divided by a fraction, then we go with the 10 times. Okay, so 10 over 1 times, and we flip this one around, 5 over 2. Okay, now you have two options. You can just multiply numerator by numerator over denominator by denominator and then simplify, or you can first simplify using that bow tie way. Okay, so 2 goes into 2 once and into 10 5 times. Now there's nothing else to simplify, so 5 times 5, 25, and 1 times 1, 1, and we're done. Alright, we have more. Alright, pause, try it on your own. Okay, we're resuming. That's what we want. The first thing, remember I said you're doing the opposite of BODMAS. So can you see I have multiplication over here and here I have addition. So if we're going the opposite direction of BODMAS, we're going to do the addition first. Well, the opposite of it, right? 11 minus 2. I need the x on its own. Can you see it has 3 multiplied by x? So the opposite of multiply is divide. Or you can put it as a fraction, so 9 over 3. 9 divided by 3, 3. Done. Okay, next one. I have 3 multiplied by x. So the opposite of multiply is divide. Remember, fraction means the same thing as divide. What I do on one side, I have to do on the other side. I can write it like this, or you could write it like this. Same thing. 15 divided by 3. Okay, next one. This is a over 4, okay? I want a on its own. Can you see I have it divided by 4? What's the opposite of divide by 4? Multiply by 4. I'm going to continue here. I have run out of space. Right? We said the opposite of divide by 4 is multiply by 4. So also, I want you to notice how I'm writing my questions, the answers out. I am continuing underneath each other. Do you see? Okay, I drew an arrow. I'm continuing underneath each other. Please, I do not want to see you do this step and then this step in the same line and then in the same line. Please, it must be all one underneath each other, okay? What you can choose to do is to try and put all your equal to signs exactly underneath each other. Something like how I got these all in a line. Okay, they're not exactly in a line. Maybe this one here in a line. It just makes it easier for you. Right, I'm going to take this, the other side. Right. Negative 36 minus 12. This is 12 multiplied by r. So what's the opposite of it? Divide. And you can write it as a fraction. Okay, again out of space. I'm going to just continue here. Right, negative 48 divided by positive 12 gives me negative 4. And you can write your answer like this, or if you want you can switch it around to look like this. It means exactly the same thing. Okay. Oops. That's what we want, right? Divide by 5, divide by 5, because this is multiply. Negative divided by positive is negative. 15 divided by 5 is 3. And that's our answer. Okay, we have more. What alphabet was I on? Alright. Okay, this one is a bit more complicated. We have variables on both sides. So here and here. Now our aim is to get them onto one side of the equal to sign. So the 7x is on this side. I'm going to bring the 4x over. This 30, can you see it's on this side? I'm going to bring the positive 9 over, making it negative 9. 7. Now these are like terms, these are like terms. So you just add and subtract the numbers in front. Please, you don't put square in to the power 4, nothing like that. You just say 7 minus 4 giving me 3x. Do you see? I didn't put squared. Equals 30 minus 9. This is what I want. So divide by 3. So dividing by the coefficient of x, divide by 3 on the other side as well. 21 divided by 3, 7, and we're done. Another one. (21 plus 9). I want x alone, isn't it? So divide by 10, divide by 10. Next one, I'm going to try and keep all my equal to signs in a line for you, okay? So I have the 1 on here. Let's highlight for you this. I'm taking the 4 over. So I've got b over 12 equals 1 minus 4, negative 3, running out of space. Let me just rewrite it for you. I want the p. Can you see it's p divided by 12? So what's the opposite of divide? Multiply, isn't it? Multiply. So negative 3 times 12. Done. Okay. Oops, I highlighted the 2. Wasn't meant to. 2x on the side. Bringing this one over, minus x. This 5 is on its own on the side. Right? Please don't forget, when we have any variable that doesn't have a number in front of it, it has a invisible 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. Do I have to write this one? No, not really. Is it fine if I wrote it? Yes, absolutely. 5. That's our answer. keep our equal to signs together. This side here, we're going to keep the negative 6p and bring in this one over, so it becomes plus 3p. This side here of the equal to sign, I'm keeping the 29. I'm taking the 17 over like that. Okay, so see, I'm just adding negatives, adding the coefficients. So negative 6 plus 3, giving me negative 3. I didn't put it p squared. Please be careful with that. Okay. I want this on its own. It has a negative 3 in front of it. That means multiply. What's the opposite of multiply? Divide. Divide one side, divide the other side. P equals 12 divided by negative 3 is negative 4. Okay, there's more. Okay, let's highlight our variable. Keep your equal to sign in the middle so it makes it easier for you. This side we got a 10q and we got a plus. Do you see, because it's on the same side, I'm keeping its same sign. Okay, this one over here, bring it over, becomes negative. This side of the equal to sign, so here's our equal to sign. On this side I have the 13. I'm going to bring the 15 over, so plus. Okay, 10 plus 2 is 12. 12 minus 8 is 4. Why can I add and subtract the numbers in front? Because I got q, q, q. They like terms. Okay, did you see I never put it to the power of 3? Be very careful. Ooh, let's scribble that out. Alright, nothing there. That was a mistake. Okay, 13 plus 15 is going to give us 28. I want q on its own. So 4 times q, opposite. Divide by 4. So divide by coefficient. Divide by coefficient. Okay, q, 28 divided by 4 gives me 7. There we go. Okay, now we're moving on to the ones with brackets, and I have even more with brackets. But when we have brackets, it's best that you multiply. When it's like this, when it's just a number in front of it, like that, then you can multiply into the bracket, okay? So 2x, this whole thing with the sign, into there and into there. Positive 3 times x gives me positive 3x. Positive 3 times negative 2, negative 6. Okay. There's my, there they are. Okay. Ooh, sorry. Let's move that. 2x plus 3x. I'm leaving it on that side. This side I have the 4. I'm bringing the 6 over, so positive 6. 2 plus 3. No squared. 4 plus 6. Okay, that means we are dividing by 5. Dividing by 5, isn't it? Because coefficient. X, 10 divided by 5 is 2. And let's continue. Okay, so I said if we have a bracket, I want you multiplying into the bracket like this. Okay, as long as there's a number in front of it. 2 times y, 2 times 5. Okay. Alright, we're going to keep our equal to sign here. I'm leaving my 2y where it was. I'm bringing this y over. The side here of the equal to sign, I have a positive 25. I'm bringing the 10 over that. Now remember, we are just adding and subtracting the coefficients, okay? If it's a variable with no number in front, there's a 1. 2 minus 1 gives me 1. Do I have to write it? Nope. If I write it, is it wrong? Nope. 25 minus 10, 15. Done. Okay, let's multiply into the bracket. 4 times 3, 12p. 4 times positive 4, 16 minus 6b. Did you notice that I did not multiply this negative 6b into the bracket? Only the 4 because it's touching the bracket like that, okay? Please be very careful with those kind of things. Okay. 12b minus 6b, that was on this side, so we keep the same signs. On this side I have a 46, and I'm going to bring this over. 12 minus 6, we just add and subtract the coefficients, not b squared. 46 minus 16. Okay. This here, divide by, because it's 6 times b, so opposite of 6 times is divide. What you do on one side, do on the other side. 30 divided by 6. Done. Okay, even more. Oh, this bracket I forgot to close. We are multiplying into the bracket, okay? 7 times x and that. So let's work it out. 7x plus 7 times 3, 21. Plus 3x plus 1 equals. Multiplying into the bracket as long as there's a number in front. 2 times x, 2 times negative 13. Okay. 7x stays on this side, plus 3x on this side. I'm bringing the 2 over the equal to sign. Alright, this side I have negative 26. Alright, I'm bringing this 1 over, and I'm bringing this 21 over. Okay, adding all the numbers in front. 7 plus 3 is 10. 10 minus 2 is, 10 minus 2 is 8. This side here, negative 26 minus 1 is negative 27. Minus 21 from that is negative 48. Okay. Divide by 8 on divide by 8 on this side. Divide by 8 on this side. Okay. Negative. Here we go. Ah, nice long complicated one. I forgot to close the bracket there. Alright, multiply into the bracket. Actually, please try this one on your own so that you know what you're doing. Okay, I'm multiplying into the bracket. 2 times 2 is 4x. 2 times negative 3, negative 6x. Oh, not x. Made a mistake. Okay. Then there's the minus 2. 15 minus x. You see how the plus 3 is joined here. So this whole thing multiplied by that and by that, giving me 3 times 3. 3 times negative x, negative 3x. Right, let's put our equal to sign. On this side, we got 4x plus 4x. There's a minus x here. Bringing it over, it becomes plus x. And then there's a minus 3x here, so plus 3x. All right. This side of the equal to sign, I got 15 and 9. I'm going to go fetch this 2, bring it this side. I'm going to fetch this negative 6, bring it this side. Okay, please don't forget, anytime there's no number, we put a 1. Okay, so we got 4 plus 4, 8, plus 1, 9, plus 3, 12. It's to the power of 1. Please, not 1, 2, 3, 4. Be careful. Equal to sign. 15 plus 9, 24, plus 2, 20, where am I? 26, plus 6, 32. Now, what did I say? 15 plus, oh, I'm going to type this in on the calculator. 15 plus 9, plus 2, plus 6. Oh, yeah, I was right. 32. Alright, we're going to now, this is what we wanted, x. So divide by 12, divide by 12. I thought they would have gave us a number that actually works out. But anyway, nonetheless, x equals. Now, 12 can't go into 32. That's what I meant. So instead, you're going to say, what number can go into 32 and into 12? Okay, so 32, 4 can go into 32, 4 can go into 12. 4 goes into 32 8 times, 4 goes into 12 3 times. Is there any other number that can go into 8 and 3? No, you can leave your answer like this, or if you want to, you can say how many times does 3 go into 8? It's 2 times. There's a remainder of 2 over 3. You can do that if you want to, but otherwise you can leave your answer like this. It's perfectly fine.